What happens to the water after it goes down the drains and toilets at your home?
What happens to water after it goes down the drain?
Wow, really good question.
Well, Nemo says all water goes back to the ocean, but I imagine it probably goes down pipes into some sort of a treatment facility.
The river, maybe?
It goes below the Earth's surface.
Where does it go? I don't know.
Well, it goes through the sewer, and eventually it's going to drain to the ocean.
It goes into a sewage line that goes between houses, and then it goes to a main sewage line through a processing plant.
One day, we were visiting friends and helping them clean their house using traditional chemical cleaning products. And I was cleaning the toilet and noticing the aroma, the fumes, the headache, the breathing problems, everything that's associated with traditional toxic chemicals and cleaning products. And I noticed that I was putting those poisons into the water supply. I was putting them down the toilet, but what happens after the toilet? What happens when it goes down the drains and the toilets, and where does that go? What does it encounter? Is the poison actually taken out of the water? These are all big questions that we had, and so we vowed basically to find out what happens to the water after it goes down the drain at your house. To do this, we took a film crew and went down to West County Wastewater District in Richmond, California, and we met with Joe Neubauer, who's the environmental compliance inspector there. He gave us a tour of the facility and interviewed with us, and he really helped us understand what happens after the water goes down the drain. Joe told us that basically all water that comes from our homes, be it toilets, showers, kitchen sinks, and garbage disposals, end up at the nearest wastewater treatment plant. It travels through a system of pipes, directing the water from your house into the main sewer system and then into the treatment plant. Once the water reaches the plant, it typically goes through a 5-step filtration and treatment process that intends to replicate the water filtration found in nature. Each step removes waste that gets deposited to the site's sludge pile to be later transported to a landfill. Here's how the treatment process works. Step 1. Preliminary treatment. Big screens catch the largest solid materials such as trash, sticks, rags, leaves, and dead animals from the water as it flows into the plant. Step 2. Primary treatment. The flow of the water is decreased as it enters into large settling basins known as clarifiers. This allows large particles of organic matter to sink to the bottom and smaller particles to rise to the top, which then get scraped out and sent to the digesters to break down the solids for further disposal. The slightly cleaner water moves on with around 50% of solid matter removed. Step 3. Secondary treatment. Here's where we really see nature in action. This step introduces naturally occurring microorganisms into the water that, when pumped with oxygen, creates a bubbling feast of your waste products. These microorganisms devour 85 to 90% of the tiny solids suspended in the water, turning them into big brown globs that can then be settled, separated, and disposed of. Step 4. Tertiary or advanced treatment. This step again uses settling to improve the water quality more by removing minute suspended solids and nutrients such as nitrogen and phosphorus. Step 5. Disinfection. Before this treated water is discharged, it must first be disinfected of various bacteria, viruses, and pathogens, as you can imagine. Typically, this is done by chlorination, followed by dechlorination. Increasingly, the use of non-toxic ultraviolet light is becoming popular in this final process. So where does the water end up after it's treated?
I have no idea. It gets rerouted back to our homes, I suppose.
Boy, I hope some of it comes back to us, but I really don't know.
Back out into the cities.
I have absolutely no idea.
I imagine going into the ocean.
Reused and pumped into the big drums that are in the outskirts of town that the water facilities charge you for.
some sort of like irrigation system.
To the river, usually.
After the treatment plant, I think it still just goes straight into the ground and back to the ocean eventually. All water makes its way to the ocean. So.
The ocean.
Rest assured, the water that comes out of your toilet does not directly feed back into your sink's tap water. It does, however, wind up in your nearest body of water. That means bays, rivers, lakes, and the like. Unless, like West County Wastewater District, a portion of it is recycled into various production processes or to water golf courses. Because our toilet and sink water ends up in our bays and lakes, affecting the resident plants, animals, fish, and us, we really need to ask ourselves, is everything dangerous and gross filtered out of that water?
Not everything. Not a perfect science. I don't think so, no.
No, I do not think they can. There is only a limited amount that the treatment plant can remove with the amount of effort they put in. They do not perform reverse osmosis and they do not do evaporation techniques.
Probably not. Probably not much.
No.
No, not at all.
Probably not. I mean, who knows what's in the water? So, and plus they're adding chemicals, so aren't they just making the water worse in some ways, probably? I don't know.
I think that they could probably filter 80% out of everything out of the water.
I know that they can't because there's been a big brouhaha about drugs showing up in our drinking water that's not coming out of the treatment plant. We can't filter for everything that goes through there.
No. Not at all.
Because the treatment plants are open to the sky, there's all sorts of chemicals that are coming from biocarbons to a duck flying by and taking a crap in the water.
I'm sure they do as best as they can, but I doubt it.
As we said, the treatment process intends to replicate Mother Nature. Under normal circumstances, the Earth uses lakes, streams, and ponds to separate biological material from the water as it churns, turns, and soaks into the ground. Wastewater treatment facilities are therefore intended to filter out biological material. That's basically what comes from people cleaning themselves naturally. It is not intended to separate any kind of compounds of the chemical variety, meaning pesticides, oil or petroleum-based products, toxic household cleaners, medications, or dissolved metals such as mercury, copper, zinc, or arsenic. These compounds can actually damage the treatment process by killing the microorganisms that feast on your biological waste. Because they cannot be treated, these chemicals will either A. pass through the treatment plant and directly into the environment, B. upset the treatment process and cause problems at the plant, or C. contaminate the sludge, thus the landfill, and cycling back to the groundwater. We asked Joe if the industry has any concerns about this. He said they absolutely do, and one of their main goals is to follow the trends of chemicals introduced into the bay after the treatment plant. They also follow studies that identify both legacy pollutants from the past and possible dangers for later generations to deal with down the line. He also said they work hard to get policies in place to protect the environment from these chemical pollutants. So what can we do to make sure our water remains safe for all? Here's some suggestions. First, let's be aware of what we put down our drains. www.baywise.org is an incredible resource for what should and shouldn't be flushed or poured down your drain. For example, only toilet paper and you know what should be flushed. Do not dispose of unwanted medications, pesticides, non-biodegradable cleaning materials, and paint down your drains or toilet. Let's prevent fats, oils, and grease from going down the kitchen sink. They harden when cold, causing clogs and raw sewage backups that can flood your home or the streets. Instead, let it cool down and throw it in your trash can. Here's another one. Turn your old-fashioned mercury thermometers in for a free digital one at your local hazardous waste facility. Joe says, one broken mercury thermometer can contaminate millions of gallons of water. And finally, choosing biodegradable cleaning and gardening products is an easy choice. Just look for the various certified seals. What's your opinion of green cleaning products?
A broom? Water?
Green cleaning products. I think that most of them are just normal cleaning products that have been severely watered down. There are a few that are actually beneficial to the environment, but they don't do the same job that normal cleaning products do.
I think it's a good idea.
I think that green products are essential because there's a lot of people who have a lot of allergies to chemicals, so I think it's important to use green products and to not put toxic chemicals back into the environment.
I'm 100% behind that, of course.
It depends on what you classify that as. So green can mean non-pesticide, green can mean properly disposed. It's really a vague subject.
Great. I haven't really experimented with too many of them.
I haven't tried enough of them to know whether it's a worthwhile switch or not. I buy by cost.
Cleaning products that are vegetable byproduct type ones, or I don't know, I've never heard of them.
I think they're necessary. I think all the chemicals that they put into cleaning products today are completely unnecessary. You don't need them to clean your homes. I'm a house cleaner by night, and I work in a lot of homes, and I see a lot of Lysol and nasty ingredients, and they get washed away and washed down the drain.
It doesn't leave that residue of that bleach or that strong toxic smell afterwards when you clean, so I'm impressed by that. I can breathe.
We've been raised on traditional toxic cleaning products, believing that they work better.
Hello there. House cleaning?
It's the floors. They take so darn long to clean.
You, Mr. Clean, can get the job done faster.
Why?
Because of all leading cleaners, Mr. Clean is now the most powerful ever put into a bottle.
Why?
To speed through the toughest dirt known to daddies, mommies, and even big brothers.
The bottle's all squishy.
It's a new unbreakable plastic bottle.
Mr. Clean, I like him. Can I keep him?
You sure can.
Hey, who is that? If I told you, you wouldn't believe it.
Mr. Clean, Mr. Clean, Mr. Clean.
What cleaning products do you use at home?
Bad ones. I use bad ones. I use little cakes of dishwashing stuff in the dishwasher. I use commercial dishwashing soap. I use orange stuff that smells good, that absolutely will eat anything in front of it, and I spray down my shower with bleach.
Isopropyl alcohol, different brand name ones like Dawn that use surfactants, and I don't know what the chemical is that takes care of grease. A lot of different things.
Bleach, Windex bleach, you know, pretty much bleach.
I have a steamer that I use.
I don't use cleaning products. Dr. Bronner's, I guess, maybe.
Pretty much Bonamie to clean tubs and toilets, dishwashing soap, dishwashing detergent, laundry detergent, vinegar a lot, and essential oils as well.
Windex, regular old soap, dish soap, orange glow, the usual.
Vinegar, citrus, that's pretty much all we use.
Cleaning products, I'm a pretty green person when it comes to cleaning products, so I don't want artificial additives for the very reason I think you were asking about our water supply, and the chemicals going in there become troublesome later in many, many ways.
Mr. Clean gets rid of dirt and grime and grease in just a minute.
Mr. Clean will clean your whole house and everything that's in it.
Floors, doors, walls, halls, my sidewalls, ties, and old golf balls.
Sinks, stoves, bathtubs he'll do. He'll even help clean laundry too.
We now know that toxic chemicals can actually harm the water treatment process, which decreases the quality of our water. If you have chemical cleaning products at home and want to switch to green products, that's great. But while finishing your old toxic bottle, make sure to follow the dilution instructions carefully. This is the least we can do. And here's some other great ideas on what we can do to improve our water quality.
I think if people make conscious decisions about how they use their water and what they put down their drain, their day-to-day life, the chemicals that they use in their home, versus what they could use that are natural ingredients, I think we could improve the quality of water all over.
Use less water for one.
The sink is like up here, and you just wash your hands, and that water is used to flush the toilet. Because every time you flush the toilet, it's like a gallon of water, and that's just really wasteful.
Use reuse water for gray water irrigation.
We're just trying to cut down on all the things that you rinse off your plate into the drain.
We can make sure we keep sewage and drinking water very separate.
Stop adding so many chemicals.
Not dump harmful things into drains that would not be processed.
By letting the city do votes upon what goes into their water system. And
Again, it goes back to the mindfulness of the consumers, because they're the voters. And when they begin to buy only natural products, then industry takes notice, and then they begin to adjust the ingredients that they use, and so it becomes a kind of a mass movement towards what is better for all.
Ajax cleans your kitchen sink up to twice as easy, twice as fast. Use Ajax, the foaming cleanser. Cleans your sink just like a whiz.
Ajax, the new scouring cleanser, foams as it cleans.
Polishes too. Whee! And leaves no gritty cleanser scum. So use Ajax, the foaming cleanser. Flush the dirt right down the drain.
So now that we know where the water goes after it goes down the drain, the whole treatment process for it, and what can and can't be filtered out, now we can all make those educated decisions to make sure that we're not harming our water supply. So let's go out there. Let's raise the awareness. Let's make sure that the people that we know and ourselves and our families are making sure to keep our world healthy and a better place.